Hello, Professor. My name is Villanueva. I am 20 years old, and I am a sophomore at the CWI college. Obviously, you know that since I'm taking your class. Um, the major that I am in right now and have been and intend to stay in is criminal justice. I have always had a big passion for it, and so that's what I've decided to do as my course of study. And excuse that I'm also looking at the screen. Like you had your list, I'm looking down to make sure I'm hitting everything. Let's see, the reason that I'm taking Introduction to Policing is because it is, one, a required class for my degree, which is the criminal justice degree. I know that there are two degrees, criminal justice, and I believe there's another one with a specialization in corrections, and I am just in the regular criminal justice degree. So they required this class, which is fine because I have a very deep passion for everything criminal justice, and policing is obviously a very big deal since they protect our communities, give warnings, help people stay on the right track, make them realize that what they're doing is either not safe or illegal, and it's very important to me. Wow, the reason that I wanted to take that class was that. What I want to take from this class, I would say, is that I want to really get a better understanding of policing, its history, because before this class I didn't really realize that there was a whole lot of history, I guess, to it. I knew that there were changes and obviously evolvements and things throughout time, but I didn't really realize where it began, the greater influences from Rome, and so much that we've kind of gone over just in this week in class. So I would really want to get a bigger and better understanding of the history of it and its evolution through time. A little bit more would be, I guess I'd like to see the different parts of policing as far as what's considered being policing. Is homicide part of policing? Is domestic abuse, violence? Is ISP considered policing? I would say so because they're state troopers and still police officers that do the same things over a broad area, obviously covering more ground and not just within the judicial districts such as Caldwell or Nampa or just Boise. You know, they have a greater jurisdiction. Something interesting about me is that I was recently married. I got married June 20th of 2014 to my now husband, obviously, and I want to show you. That's him. He is a United States Marine, and that's myself with him at a Marine Corps ball a couple of years ago. I'm very, very proud of him. I have a pretty good taste of the military life and traveling to see him and meeting a lot of wonderful people. Another thing that I find just interesting that you will, I'm sure too, is that because of where he's stationed in Newburgh, New York, which is about 60 to 90 miles away from actually New York City, there's a very high crime rate. I believe that last time I was over there, a friend of ours who's actually also in the Marines is a correctional officer in New York City, and he was actually telling us that the city that they are all stationed in, Newburgh, downtown Newburgh, is actually, I think he said, the third worst or the first highest crime rate for gangs and shootings. It was something like that. I know it was definitely top 10, but I really want to say it was top 5, maybe even number 1. But it was so interesting to me. I had gone to that city quite a few times, 3 or 4 times, while my now husband has been stationed there, and I would have never thought about it. And that's probably because I've only been to the nicer parts of town, not so much the downtown area. So that's something that I thought that you would find interesting, because I've also met officers from over there and seen the difference between officers here and there, just because I know so many officers here and a couple over there. Another thing that's interesting about me is my father is a retired officer and also retired Air Force, so you know, I definitely understand policing a little bit more because my dad actually grew up with his badges hanging on the wall, pictures of him and fellow police officers, and his police officer creed. that he has also hanging. He loves it, and it gave me a great passion as well. Another thing that's interesting is that I am nearing completion of my associates in criminal justice. I believe I only have about a semester and a half left after this. I'm paying my way. I'm debt-free, so that's an exciting thing. This semester I'm also taking your class, and I'm taking Corrections 104. I've taken 101, and I've also taken 103. So these are my last two, I guess, lower classes before I hit the harder ones for my degree. I am all about questions, so I will probably be getting a hold of you a lot for questions. I also want to talk to you about a upcoming trip that I have to do with my husband. He's not being, but he is getting out of the military. His contract is over in October, November. I am waiting for the official date, and then after that I'm supposed to be driving him home from New York, so I would like to talk to you about that, and seeing if we can arrange for me to do that week's homework ahead of time. That way I won't fall behind, just because obviously driving and traveling, I don't really know when I'll have internet or not, and I definitely need to be there for my husband on this transition out of the military and getting him home safely. Also, he is planning on joining law enforcement as well, so I'm sure he will actually probably benefit as much from your class as I am, because he's really big into following my schooling, so he'll probably be reading the books that I am using for class as well. Anyway, so if we could talk about that, that'd be wonderful, and I wanted to let you know throughout this assignment, just because it's more face-to-face, and I want you to hear it from me, not just through typing. So I would love to talk to you about that. And I really enjoyed this assignment, first assignment I've ever done where I make a video, so I really appreciate you giving us this different taste for this online class. Thank you so much for watching my video, and thank you for providing us a wonderful introduction video. It definitely makes me feel like we have a better student-professor connection, actually seeing each other. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a good week.